This is part 2 of this series. I need to explain my family. My family was an extremely dysfunctional, sadistic family, primarily filled, in my opinion, with narcissists, psychopaths. But I will tell you, though I'm not going to give names, of monster number 1 and monster number 2, I want you to know that my sister Debbie was not one of the monsters, okay? As a matter of fact, I do suspect that if I wasn't around, that she probably would have been the one selected as the scapegoat. My family structure, my father was very abusive, and he was abusive to all of us when I was a child. As far as I'm concerned, the real abuse was in the last 12 years, okay, and my father actually only helped. But because my father was, he really truly, so maybe he wasn't a psychopath, but he was truly repentant over his actions. But he abused, he beat all of us. And no sexual abuse. None of the sexual abuse was from him. He's not monster number 2. But he abused all of us, and so in turn, the others, not Debbie, abused me in really horrific ways. I think I'm going to right now mostly stick with monster number 2. So one in the attic that I mentioned in the last video. And it's so hard to say where my mom lies because she did some horrible, horrible things. Her actions of the last 12 years have been by far the worst. It has caused the most pain and suffering. But I really think she was so under the spell, I don't know what, controlled by monster number 1 and monster number 2, and still is. But monster number 2 who I still believe is very sadistic. Hey, the man has authentic weapons of murder and torture that he's collected from all over the world, covering his walls in his house, unless that has changed since then. But I mean, it was as recently as I saw him, because I have not seen him for a long time, except for about 10 minutes about 8 months ago. But monster number 2 was so cruel to me all of the time. Whatever I said, monster number 2 would tell me how stupid I was and how ugly I was, and mostly how stupid I was. And everything I said, he'd roll his eyes, and he did things like he forced me to eat my own vomit. He forced me to eat cat urine and cat pee, and eat the dog's bowel movement because it had crayons in it that I hadn't left out, but he said I had it, so he made me eat it. And he made me lick a rock with pee, and all sorts of things. And when I reached 11 years old, I decided, okay, now I am almost a teenager. And so I felt maybe that would give me some power. And so I thought I would stand up to all of them. Well, not my dad, but so I turned 11. My brother said, get me something or other, and I said, no, I don't have to. I'm almost 11. I'm almost a teenager. And so you can't tell me what to do anymore. And he actually just pounded downstairs, and everything was okay for a couple weeks. Then there was a little girl was missing. Her name was Paula Sue Steinbach. And Paula Sue Steinbach was found shortly afterwards. She had been found behind a clubhouse. And she had been murdered by an older boy, and he pulled her panties down, and she'd fought back, and he had strangled and killed her. And so, anyway, the night after that happened, monster number 2 said, Vicky, go get the white brush. And I said, no, I already told you, I don't have to. I'm almost a teenager. And he said, you go get that, or I will Paula Sue Steinbach you. And so it didn't end. I thought it was going to end. I thought I was standing up for myself, and with the rest of the family, I mean, it was just as bad in different ways. And so then monster number 2 continued in his ways. And on May 6, 1972, my sister had a sleepover. One of my sisters had a sleepover. And something happened that was very disturbing to this little girl. Her name was Karen. And it was very, very disturbing. And so she was going to go home, and my brother, monster number 2, was comforting her. And I thought, well, gee, maybe he's not a monster because he's being so nice to her. And we were all laying on the floor, and I fell asleep. Then I woke up, and he was saying, now you give me a massage. And then I fell asleep again, and the next I remember was hearing screaming and pounding, a bang, 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 and screaming. And I knew what was going on. I knew that he had the little girl in there, that monster number 2 had the little girl in there, and that he was raping her. And so I decided I just got to get up. I'm going to go help her. And everything was frozen. I couldn't move. I could not move. I promised. I tried. And so I said, well, my dad's upstairs. My mom was at work. I said, my dad's upstairs. I can call my, out for my dad, and he'll come downstairs and he'll stop it. And I couldn't scream. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried. And then the sound stopped, the sobbing and the crying and the pound, pound, pound. And I was finally able to move, and I went into the bathroom, and there were bloody handprints on the sink and on the walls and on the toilet. And I cleaned them up because, hey, that was my job, you know. I went looking for Karen, and she was upstairs, and I said, Karen, she was crying. And I said, Karen, are you all right? And she goes, I just miss my family. And I said, do you want me to stay with you? And she said, no. The next day, I was talking to my best friend, and I said, I can't, with what all of them do, I can't. And I almost feel like they feel if I'm around, they can hurt other people too. They hurt me, and if I'm around, they can hurt other people too. It's what it seemed like. I said, I'm scared. I'm really bothered by this. And then I told her about how my brother he hadn't actually penetrated, but how he had done something to me the year before. And how and when I say brother, I mean all guys are your brothers, right? All guys are brothers, all girls would be sisters. So not giving the identity away. And she told me, I told her about what monster number 2 had done to me the year before. And that I felt really guilty because maybe I could have prevented it, because I could have maybe told my dad, but I was so scared because I was the family liar, you know. And then she said, Vicky, she said, we weren't going to tell you. She goes, but monster number 2, that's not the word she used, tried to force both me and at another time Annette, another friend, to have sex. He tried to rape them, but that they had gotten away and that they had discussed whether they should talk to me or not. But because of monster number 2's position in the family, and because of nobody ever believing anything connected with me, that she knew it would just cause problems, and then she felt guilty that she hadn't. And I said, oh my God, I just got to get out of here. And so I was going to hitchhike to California, because it was the hippie times, and I was going to go to Berkeley and wear flowers in my hair and not let them hurt me anymore. And so my friend Kathy said, I'll go with you. And I said, no, you can't. She goes, I'm going to go with you. And I said, no. And she said, okay, how about if I come up with a plan for something else, but you listen to another plan that would keep you safe from your family? And I said yes. And that is what I'm going to be talking about in the next video.